So, the case study that our group chose in order to reflect non maleficence was the case of Terri Schiavo. Terri Schiavo was a 26-year-old woman who went into cardiac arrest at home. Her husband did not perform CPR. He called the paramedics, though, and she remained without oxygen for some time until being resuscitated, but was never brought back to full consciousness. Because of this lack of oxygen for so long, she did suffer many deficits from this incident. And so she had a peg tube placed in order to provide her with hydration and nutrition. And for the first few years, her husband was fine with that, was supporting her care. In a turn, he won some malpractice suits against the facility that she was at, and then kind of changed his decision and decided that he wanted that peg tube removed because she wouldn't want to live that way. And he claimed that he had heard her and his family members, his brother, I believe, and his sister-in-law, had heard her say things along the lines of if she were in the ICU or if she were living off of tubes and machines, that she wouldn't want to be a burden on people and would want them to cut her off. So this ended up going to court because her family believed the opposite. They were like, she's not on life support, she's living functionally for the most part, like, we don't want the peg tube removed. We want to continue to provide her with the nutrition and allow her to live. Now, because this did go to court, there were several neurologists that looked into her state and kind of tried to determine, like, is she going to improve? Is she going to get better? Or is this state how she's going to remain? And it was the majority rule that she would remain in a persistent vegetative state, meaning basically there's no chance for improvement. Her brain is not changing, not improving. She's stuck where she is, basically. And the nutrition is one of the main factors just keeping her alive. And so after many back and forths in the court, the family really tried to push against her husband, who was he was their decision maker. She didn't have an advance directive, so he, by law, became her decision maker. They did rule in favor of removing the peg tube, and then she passed away. And so the issue of maleficence here, or non-maleficence rather, is it better to leave the tube in and keep her living, though she's not really there? Her brain isn't really working and she's not functional by any means, or is doing no harm, in essence, removing the tube and letting her die the way she would want to. And so that's what this case sort of reflected and what we kind of worked through as a group.